Now, how about Battlefield 1? Now, I have my reservations about this idea. This is an article from Gaming Bolt from Premath again. All right, super.
Fucking gaming bolt.
Talking about how Battlefield 1 will have some of the biggest maps DICE has ever built. And the subtitle is, "But you shouldn't worry about too much bloat either." Now, this whole idea throws me for a loop, because Nate, did you ever play any of the Battlefield 4 expansion maps? You remember the Asia ones or whatever they
Yeah.
were?
Mm-hmm.
They were fucking huge
They're too big.
wastes of space.
Too big.
And bigger isn't better if it isn't dense enough. If there isn't enough to do, like, if you wanted to get from objective A to, say, objective D, or even C, you're just hoofing it for like 10 straight minutes. Hoof it, hoof it, hoof it, hoof it. And you're bored as shit because everybody stole all the vehicles, or the custom fucking server maker made all the vehicles air vehicles, or whatever the fuck they do with custom servers. Fuck, I hate custom servers. At least I hate custom servers when there are no standard servers. Anyway, that's what I worry about. The maps being unfilled, I guess, is my concern.
Well, here is something that EA needs to learn, is that as realistic as you want to make your game, that's cool, for entirely different reasons, but real war sucks. Okay? So I don't need a gigantic map where I'm getting picked off by a sniper every fucking 5 seconds before I even get to action. That was Arma's biggest problem, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Battlefield 2 and to some extent 3 kind of nailed it. That's the perfect size.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, now this is me personally, but I don't want 32 on 32. That's way too many people for me to enjoy myself.
Oh, yeah. That was harsh. Like, I don't think they had 64-player maps when we played it on Xbox 360, did they? I don't think so.
They did not, no.
I think it was a max of 48 total.
Yeah. That's just, it's too much. It's too many people.
Yeah. And they go for the ultra big time, and they go for the custom rent-a-server garbage. Oh my god, I'm not going to let that go. Let me go ahead and go through this with Mark. Mark, have you ever played on a custom shooter server?
I don't even know what that is.
All right, so DICE, or, okay, Game
Well,
Maker.
to be honest, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Game
I mean, I know what a
Maker,
server is.
all right, Game Maker owns the servers, right? Or they rent the servers, okay?
Right. Either way, yeah. Mhm.
In this case, they rent those servers out to users, players. And those players, or that player, gets to make all the rules on that server, including what maps are played, what the objective is, how things spawn, how often they spawn. Fucking, they get to make all the rules, including making matches. Like, Mark Jr., you could get into a random Battlefield server right now, Battlefield 4, and play the same fucking match for like an hour.
Well, I'm not. You're not gonna get me to hang out for that long.
Now, these things drive me crazy only in the fact that DICE doesn't reserve any standard servers. I can't find any anymore.
Does that mean they're saving themselves money?
No, they're fucking making shit tons of money.
No, but I'm saying by doing that, by renting out servers from people, does that mean they're saving themselves money instead of having to have dedicated servers?
No, they have the dedicated servers. They rent them out to other people, to private parties.
So they're making money off this dickhead want to set the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's kind of dickish.
And
that
they have
sounds like
ultimate
kinda
control.
dickish.
They can just kick you anytime they want because you did a thing.
Well, that's not even the problem, Clay. Sorry, you can continue in a second. The biggest problem you just hit on. Everybody wants to play the same.
Yeah,
So
there's entire servers dedicated to playing the same map all the time.
So it's 24/7 Metro, 10,000% tickets. So it's endless Metro, and the game seemingly never ends. Who enjoys that?
I don't know. That's so ridiculous.
So that's my biggest problem with the rented servers. You may continue. I was just had to.
It's all right. I was at the end of my rant there. So anyway, I fear that Battlefield having, quote, the biggest maps ever conceived, end quote, is not necessarily a good idea if you've got giant blank spaces in between. Now, I'm looking at Mark's face, and he has no point of reference for this because he didn't play Battlefield, so he doesn't understand what it is to have vast emptiness in a shooter map.
No, there should never be vast emptiness in a shooter map. What the fuck?
Well,
I mean, it doesn't have to be 4 foot by 4 foot, so you spawn and you're standing there looking at a guy. I mean, you can
that
make
happens
it a decent,
anyway.
Well, but you can make it a decent size, but vast nothingness just bothers the shit out of me. Why do I have to run for 38 seconds to either kill somebody or get killed?
It was like in Battlefront. Remember when we played Battlefront that one night for like 40 minutes? Bunch of vast openness. That's kind of what Battlefield is like nowadays.
I mean, and I
getting a
understand that's what
vehicle.
combat involves nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's vast open nothingness. I don't know. But I don't want to play a game where I just have to run for a minute and a half. Shit, I hated it on Halo 2. What was the big long map, Nate? The gully or...
Yeah, it was just one long straight, right?
Yeah,
With
one,
cliffs on
but it
either
was
side.
fucking forever, dude. You had to jump for like a minute and a half to get over there. It was fucking horrible as balls, dude. I don't understand why they do that shit. It just doesn't make any sense. The maps do not need to be ginormous. They need to be the right size.
yeah, it's like Call of Duty maps are the right size for Call of Duty.
Yes.
Battlefield 2 had the right size maps for Battlefield 2. You know, when you get these gigantic mega maps, it's like, Jesus Christ, not only, Mark, do you have to run for a minute and a half, you're bobbing and weaving between buildings because every 8 seconds somebody's sniping you.
Yeah. You
So-
can hear the bullets flying by you.
I remember in Battlefield 3, which one was the one with the giant desert and the oil refinery?
3.
Okay, Battlefield 3, we're running. Everybody took all of the vehicles. The map is designed for vehicles, but there's no vehicles there, so we just start running. And first of all, your base, where you spawn on either side, is at least 30 seconds of solid running before you're going to get into anybody.
It's hundreds of yards.
And that's if they're at that point. So I remember very specifically one game, rage quitting, which I don't do. I hate rage quitters. But I rage quit because I literally couldn't get out of my base. Everybody kept stealing the vehicles, and there was just this one sniper on top of that fucking giant oil refinery just picking me off every time because law of averages is he's going to eventually hit me before I get to somewhere I can hide.
Yeah.
And that's aggravating. No map should do that.
So you heard it right here, Dice. If you want to make gigantic maps, you better fill them up with something to fucking do and shit to hide behind.
There has to
Done.
be stuff to hide behind. Has to be.
Now, yeah, well, even in Battlefield, the snipers impressed me in Battlefield because the bullet fall is...
It's real.
It's so real. And the bullets just sort of dive off like rainbow arcs, and people, they just take you out. 150 caliber hit to the side of your fucking shoulder, and it's just blah, you go spinning, you're dead. And you can't even see the guy on the kill cam, he's so fucking far away. Anyway.